women in Texas. The itinerary had taken a turn towards national parks. Near the Louisiana-Texas line, Abe said he was pretty ambivalent about heavy hiking, but that he definitely wanted to see the Grand Canyon and Yosemite. These were the standouts on the growing list. Ernie was getting all gung-ho about it. He picked up a national park guidebook at a mini-mart. He also had some designs for a border crossing. Banff. We've got to go to Banff. Damn it, we should have brought our skis. They still got snow up there. Isn't Banff in Canada? Abe asked. So what? Well, Abe began, I thought we were doing the American road trip thing. We're doing the whatever the hell we feel like doing road trip thing. Right, sure. Hey Dan, take the next right and head up to Banff. In Dallas, we pulled up briefly around sunset to get closer to the neon silhouetted skyscrapers, but found the effects were much more effective from a distance. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you fools, I'm flying back to Boston when we get to San Francisco. When are we getting to San Francisco? I asked Ernie. Well, I sort of have to get back to see Jewel before she goes to France, and she's leaving on the 7th or the 8th. So I figure I'll fly on the 5th, which gives us a solid 2 weeks. 2 weeks to see all the national parks and maybe even hang out in Banff for a few days before we drive down and drop you off in San Francisco? Why not? You saying it can't be done? No, I'm saying it won't be done, I told him commandingly. Maybe you should fly out of somewhere else, added Abe. Forget it, guys. I'll figure it out in a few days. Maybe I'll have to, maybe I should just plan to fly out of Vancouver or something. Right, Vancouver. We'll swing by Vancouver on our way down from Banff. I was on a roll. There you go, Ernie agreed. But Abe was attempting control. Okay, hold on a second. First things first. What are we doing at Fort Worth? North or south? We have to make a choice at Fort Worth. So we did. We put our heads together for a minute and made the sound decision not to try to swing by neighboring Mexico on top of everything else. Just shy of Wichita Falls, or maybe past it, an uncounted amount of hours northwest of Fort Worth, a man working at a mini-mart told Ernie and me that a guy just minutes before us skipped out on his gas payment and was reportedly heading west in a stolen pickup. The man said the Rangers were setting up a roadblock and the suspect was armed and dangerous. Ernie put his burrito up on the counter and thought about it. Now by west, you mean heading west? Ernie asked the man. That's what I said, the man answered. How do you know the guy's armed? I asked him. But Ernie cut me off. He raised his right hand like he was stopping a small hatchet at the top of its arc. Don't be dumb, friend. And to get to northern New Mexico, sir, one would need to go how? Same direction, the man answered, his brow pulled into a bunch, maybe putting two and two together with our strange accents and our strange questions. Well, boys, really only one way to go out here. I see. This highway we're on now, you say, Ernie said. Yes, that's right, the highway we're on now, the man answered. Abe was stretched out snoozing in the back seat, so we told him nothing. We needed him for the morning leg. Abraham doesn't need to know about this, said Ernie. Might spook him. You know, might put him over the edge. Further west, Ernest and I saw not much else besides a few lights over our heads that definitely did not look like airplanes. Shadows of shady beliefs can be stubborn at this time of night. Unidentifiable objects zinged continuously through the dusty overnight sky. As we rolled across the great sea of Texas, I shifted and tossed and turned as the smoothness of the dark highway inconveniently stirred the sauce again. My head steered irretrievably into that opaque puddle called relationships with women. First women in general, but soon back to thoughts of one woman in particular. I used to think a woman could only be cool if she was at least 3 years older than me. But then I was beginning to think all women were cool women. I was thinking also that maybe a woman was only as uncool as the men she'd had to deal with in her life. Maybe less. The last time I'd seen my Jennifer, she hugged me and dug her claws into my back. Then she gave me the look, the big look that said words would only be stupid. Though something told me it was stupid to think of us together. We knew each other too well. We'd seen each other go through some pretty retarded shit. Her on and off deal with the earned man, and for me a good number of affairs with girls who simply weren't quite up to the task. Sex with Miss Jennifer would be a little too drastic, too risky, too wrong probably, but maybe too amazing, too close to rapture. Sex with her was barely believable. However, with what I couldn't help, a new movie played on, and the Texas midnight brightened up in front of us. Me and her in the middle of a room, on a rug, partly dressed, partly undressed, clothes or blankets in a heap around us. Wonder Girl was up in the middle of Iowa, and she knew I'd be coming through there if I could arrange it. It was time to wake up Abraham. I was half asleep and swerving, hovering over the center line, and it was just a bit of luck that no cars were coming east. We stopped just after crossing the New Mexico border at a station where a half-dozen semis were sleeping, each glowing with its various arrangements of running lights. I switched with Abe for the back seat to sleep, but slept only minutes. 5:15 a.m., and the day was breaking hard across the flatlands. The desert sun rose up behind us, strong, warming the backs of our heads. The view had changed considerably since sundown. A new world of rocky, red, shrubby fields and miniature canyons, scale models of what we would find further west. Ernie's parents had insisted we go see the lesser-known Las Vegas, so we turned right off the New Mexico interstate to head northwest. The first road sign we saw for Las Vegas read 93 miles. Miles of fences ran up into the hills, flying along on forgiving shocks, gaining altitude only slightly at first, but then in leaps and bounds as the vehicle skated up to the near edge of something enormous, high, wide, vast. A plateau, the west. We had arrived. Then we drove over and along the high ground until it gave again, mellowing into meadows and fields with cattle, from time to time a horse or two, and packs of unknown raptors, swooping low across the tall brown grass. The next chapter is By a Lake. By a lake in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, New Mexico, that is.